Let me begin with something that might hit closer than you expect. You are having a conversation with a woman, maybe at a café, a bookstore, a work event, or even online. Everything flows naturally. It is not forced or awkward, it just feels easy. Then she asks a question that sounds simple, almost offhand. Yet somehow, it lingers with you. You can't quite explain why, but it stands out. Here is what many men don't realize: moments like that often carry more meaning than they appear to. Once you understand what's behind the question, you can recognize why she asked it and respond in a way that keeps the interaction alive, even if you have missed similar signals before. Let's address a common belief. Many men over 50 believe that women are no longer curious about them, that attraction is reserved for younger men, and that any friendliness from a woman is just politeness. Because of this, they tend to dismiss moments that could actually matter. But that belief is outdated. If you have ever replayed a conversation later and wondered whether she was testing you, there is a good chance she was. And often, those tests don't come through obvious flirting, they come through questions. Here's the psychological angle that rarely gets explained clearly. When a woman is attracted to an older man, she typically doesn't chase directly. Instead, she observes and evaluates. For her, attraction is not only about appearance, it is about emotional maturity and a sense of security. Rather than openly declaring interest, she asks questions, usually a couple that seem ordinary on the surface. Because they don't sound romantic, they are easy to miss. But once you understand them for what they are, they become much more obvious. So why questions? Men often express interest through action. Women, on the other hand, tend to express interest through curiosity. When she feels a deeper pull toward you, she is trying to know three things: are you open or closed? Confident or insecure? Attentive or unaware? Questions are her way of finding those answers, not through direct interrogation, but through subtle, almost invisible tests. This is where many men lose the moment. They respond only to the literal words, ignoring the feeling behind them, and that is what causes the connection to fade. So, let's talk about question 1. This usually appears when she's already beginning to imagine some level of closeness, even if she hasn't fully acknowledged it herself. She might ask, "Do you spend a lot of time alone?" Or, "Are you usually by yourself?" Or, "Do you tend to keep to yourself?" It may sound simple, but it is not casual small talk. It is not really about your schedule or whether you feel lonely. What she is actually trying to find out is there room for me in your life? She is quietly assessing your emotional availability, whether your world feels closed off or open enough to let her in. The key point is this: a woman doesn't picture herself stepping into a man's life unless she already feels some level of interest. If she didn't, she wouldn't ask at all. The problem is that many men answer too literally, like they're giving a factual report: "Yes, I'm alone most of the time," or "No, I'm usually busy." That kind of reply drains the energy, not because it is incorrect, but because it lacks depth. A more grounded response communicates something different. It might sound like, "I value my alone time, but I'm always open to the right kind of company," or "I'm comfortable on my own, though I appreciate meaningful connection when it comes." The difference is subtle but important. You are not trying to impress or persuade. You are simply showing that you are comfortable with yourself while still being open. That balance creates a sense of calm and makes the interaction feel safe and natural. And this is just the beginning. The second question carries even more weight, and it is often the point where attraction either grows stronger or fades away. The second question sounds like this: "So, what are you looking for these days?" Pause on that for a moment, because it is not a casual question. If she asks it, she's already thinking about you on a deeper level. What she's really trying to understand isn't your job or your plans, it is your sense of direction as a person. She's asking herself, is he engaged with life? Is he moving forward with intention or just coasting? Would it feel safe to connect with him? This is where many men unintentionally undermine themselves. They respond with things like, "I'm not sure, I'm just going with the flow," or "I'm just looking for peace." On the surface, that can sound calm and mature. But to her, it can come across as a lack of direction. And while certainty isn't required, clarity is. Women tend to feel more comfortable with someone who knows what kind of life or connection he values, even if everything isn't fully figured out. A stronger response reflects that clarity without putting pressure on the moment. For example, I'm working toward a life that feels steady and meaningful, or I value connections that are genuine and intentional, or I'm focused on living well and being around the right people. Notice what's happening there. You are not directing it at her or forcing anything. You are simply showing that you have a sense of purpose. That makes it easier for her to imagine being part of your world. At that point, her curiosity can deepen into genuine attraction. Sometimes that's where thoughts of a closer connection begin to form, even if she doesn't say it direct. There's also an important underlying point. When a woman is interested in something more than surface-level interaction, she's quietly assessing whether it feels emotionally safe to move closer. Not someone who is needy or chasing, and not someone disengaged, but someone grounded, present, and self-aware. These two questions are part of that process. If you respond naturally, without overthinking or trying too hard to impress, the connection tends to build on its own. Ironically, many men miss the moment because they treat it like a test. They become tense, overanalyze, and try to give the perfect answer, only to lose the natural flow. The key is simple: chasing the moment often disrupts it, while staying present allows it to develop. From there, the outcome can vary. It might lead to a deeper bond, a sense of mutual interest, or simply a meaningful exchange. But it all begins with understanding what's really happening beneath the surface.